Hey guys, it's Barrett with the Gimpy Camper. So for those of you that don't know, I work, travel for work, and so I go around different places in the Southeast. Currently working in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I had a friend call me and say that they were looking for a camper, and they actually found one through a dealer locally here. I actually happen to have a day off, so I'm planning on going and checking this camper out. I thought I'd take you along with me, show you the things that I would recommend looking at if you were looking at a camper, things I wish I knew whenever I was looking at my first camper, including the fact that there's no price that's cheap enough for a camper with water damage. We won't even get into that. That's one of the biggest things you're going to look for. But come with me today. We'll go down to this dealership, we'll check this camper out, and I'll share with you what I think about it when I look at it. Thanks. And I had a friend reach out to me. Apparently, they live back home in Tennessee, North Georgia, and they said that they were looking at purchasing this camper that just happened to be right where I'm working. So I happened to have the day off. They asked me if I'd come take a look at it, and I thought it'd be a good idea to take you around and show you what I would look for, knowing what I know now if I was looking for a camper. By the way, I don't know the price of this. Didn't look up the values. I'm just telling you what I would look at as far as like quality and workmanship, and whether it's a piece of junk or not. All right, so number one, either the battery's dead or they don't have a battery in here. I don't think it's too uncommon for them to have the batteries out at dealerships, but it makes it hard to test a lot of the systems. The flooring, I don't see any holes or anything in it. Appears to be working well. Don't see any like scratch marks from the slides. As far as the cabinets go, everything looks in pretty good shape. On the window treatment on this one, there are a couple of little scratches. They don't really show up that bad. The oven here looks pretty clean. Got a couple of little debris on there on the range. But all in all, that looks good. Over here on the sink, this is just antifreeze, no big deal. So obviously we're not hooked up to water, so we can't test the plumbing system. These covers are countertop material. They're pretty heavy actually. Nice big storage above the fridge. The refrigerator itself looks nice. There is a small dent here, which is purely cosmetic. No reason to think that it wouldn't work, but we are not plugged into power. I don't see any like peeling of the cabinets or anything like that. That's an issue that I have with my camper, where the finish is peeling off. And my camper's a 2019, just like this one. Went through and looked at the windows. No water stains or anything underneath. A max air fan. I don't see any water stains on the ceiling. The only stains that I see is the extra dust and stuff around the air vents, which is normal. These slides, I don't see any evidence of any water damage in the floor. No soft spots on the floor that I've found so far. Again, over here in the corner, no staining at the lower part of the wall. No stain in the carpet. And then I went through, stepped on each one. Appears to be good and solid. Bathroom's very tall. Good for tall people like me. I don't see any evidence of any water stains or soft spots in the floor in here. I'm gonna check back around the toilet a little better. But so far so good. Again, just a little bit of antifreeze in the sink here. As far as the closet, oh, we got a stackable washer and dryer in here. That was a surprise. Little medicine cabinet and some more storage up there. Now this storage where the washer and dryer is, The door doesn't shut, but it's just because the latch isn't lined up there. After we fix that, there shouldn't be an issue. There's a very small scratch right there as well, but no big deal. As far as the door, it opened and shut easily. No water stains around there. And around the floor looks fine. No weak spots. So we're gonna look at the stairs here. If we get closer, there's sawdust on there, but I don't see any scratches or anything like that. So this unit does have the electronic control. The battery's dead, so that doesn't do anything. And we have this, this is just saying that you could put the controller module here, but it's just a sticker. And then you have your Dometic thermostat and a remote for your fantastic fan. Then we're going to go up into the large bedroom here. So the bed is in a slide out. I think it's a queen size bed. Pretty nice bedroom. No signs of any staining or anything in the floor back here. Step on the floor, I don't feel a wet spot or a soft spot. And over on this side of the bed, it looks fine too. Now apparently, right in here in the bedroom is where they have the power distribution center. I've not seen that one before. And so this is a 50 amp camper. It says that there's a breaker for the AC and the second AC unit. I know the owner was concerned that there was two. We'll take a look on the roof in a minute too. Now this barn style door, it had a strap. It's a little clunky to move, but I think it's just where it's been strapped open for a while. A little dusty in here. So this is the strap that keeps it from flying around when you're driving. And on the cabinets in here, I don't know if you can see it, there's a couple of little light scratches over here, but not bad. Drawers open and close fine. Again, I don't see any peeling or anything like that. And there is a TV in here above the dresser here as well. Now this bathroom door going into the master bath, it does move a lot more, it glides a lot more gently than the other door. It's pretty fancy for a camper. So in the shower here, it's pretty standard RV shower. Got a little seat in here. Got your spigot there. Some RV antifreeze down here on the drain. Nothing appears to be cracked or broken. As far as out here, just looking at the cabinets and stuff again, countertops appear to be fine. Still a little bit of RV antifreeze there. A little bit of storage down here. No peeling of the cabinets. No water stains around the toilet. Floor feels good and hard. Then we got a pretty hefty closet in here. The King router. So, pretty nice area. Again, don't see any evidence of any water damage. The biggest thing we're looking for throughout the whole camper is water damage. There is another fantastic fan here in the bathroom. All right, so our overall impression of the inside is I don't see any water damage. I see some very, very minor scratches a couple of places, all cosmetic. Everything seems to be functioning well from what I can gather. So let's take a look at the outside. We do have the more ride step above. It does have the mechanism inside to help you close it up, the lift assist. Looking at the sealant around the door, all that seems to be sealed up well. Looking at the seals going around the molding, we're going to continue to do that all the way around. It all looks in good shape. This is all sealed up here. It's a water hose outlet, electrical outlet. And continue walking around here. This sealant's intact. It may be more of a silicone on here though. I would probably change the sealant out on this door, on this storage door. But no evidence of any bad seal so far. We're going to open this up. It's got the magnetic holder. We'll look down around here. Make sure there's no evidence of any water damage. Of course, it has this tread along the floor, which makes it hard to see any stains or anything. This little piece of trim's loose, which happens a lot with campers, but behind it, I actually like that you can see there's no evidence of any water damage or anything there. Here we got a central vacuum, and the in-command modules down here, which is pretty standard. A lot of storage space. We'll get over there in a minute, but there's a reel for your electrical cord there as well. No evidence of any water damage in here. Now this seal around this speaker does appear to be cracked, so water can get in there. I don't see any delamination. I don't see any signs of water damage on the inside, so I think that's fine. It just needs to be resealed. Got two 30-pound propane tanks in here. This is missing the switch to do left or right, but it's likely automatic. I don't really like the automatic ones personally, but the hoses seem to be in good shape. It's just the selector knob's missing, which I'm sure you could just throw one back on there, or that's probably what, yeah, so this actually goes on there, but yeah, I think that doesn't stay very well. I'm pretty sure that this is going to need to be replaced. And the seal on here, I think you can see just a very, very slight crack on. I will go ahead and reseal this as well. So we're going to continue to look at the seals here. All these look good. Now this has the bracket for a Furrion camera. I personally like the halo views. So this over here is sealed well. It's a little faded on the molding. That's fine. But, you know, again, some of this feels more like silicone, so I'd probably re-seal this as well. Let's look at the other side. It's a little bit sloppier over here, but it is sealed well. Front storage, it's all open. There is this flap here, which I think is actually supposed to be over here and be held in, but it's loose, which is fine. Got a couple of water lines and some electrical lines back here in the control modules there. So all that appears fine. A lot of it's got to do with the hydraulic self-leveling system. So the front cap, we do have, some scratches. Nothing too bad. Some of this is dirt that's coming off. But these scratches down here, these aren't rubbing off. They might buff off, they're not deep. Up here, all that's coming off too. Nice little decal here. Again, on the driver's side over here, the sealant on this front trim piece is very thick. Might be starting to crack a little bit right there, but overall it looks good. So here's the controls for the auto level. This, I guess, is a light, might just be a reflector, but there's a gap here. Definitely need some sealant over that. Low point drains are down here apparently. So this is where our batteries are. So it does have the batteries in it, but the batteries are currently either dead or it could just have the cutoff switch flipped. I didn't see the cutoff switch anywhere. This bedroom slide seal appears pretty well. All this is sealed up good. So as far as this, it all looks okay, but I did notice at the top, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I see some Eternabond tape up there, so we'll take a look at that and we'll get up there. It does have the slide covers on. The bottom of the slide looks good. It does have these slide glides on the edge, which is good because this is where a lot of times you get water damage on the slides. So I really like that. There is some water here because it's been sprinkling a little bit, but seal appears to be good. Again, you got the cover down here. So what happens a lot of times, this slide wears out on the corner from going in and out, and this water goes down and there's no drip edge here. And so it just kind of soaks into wherever this wore out. So since this has the plastic on there, that's a good protector. One important thing to know is that there's not any Schwintek gears on the side of this bedroom slide. They like to use those a lot up in the bedrooms, and those are notoriously bad for failure. Here we got our power inlet. No big issue there. And then we have our wet bay. Just making sure these all work well, and they do. So there's the cutoff switch. It is turned on, so the batteries are dead. There's hydraulic controls. I don't really know anything about the hydraulic system. I've never had one of those. It does have a water filtration system built in. It's a good deal. And like I said earlier, here's your reel that they put in for your power cable. It does work. It's a little hard to get to. Power cables down here, and that water hose, a couple of plastic shocks. I didn't notice up here, I think these are fishing rod holders. You put the handle in the circle, and on the other end there's some down there, but you put the end of the rod on the hook. I do have a Suburban furnace here. Your sewer outlet connections back here as well. Fresh water drain, rear black tank. And then this would be your water heater. There we go. Okay, so I'm not that familiar with this style. I believe it's and on demand. Yeah, tankless water heater. This is the vent for our washer and dryer. The dryer vent. Don't see any evidence of any water damage. There's some butyl under here. I probably would run some sealant around the sides and top of that though. Living room slide looks fine. Seals all look good. The bottom here appears to be sealed up well. Could use a little extra sealant there though. And again, you have the slide skis on the side, so that's good. While we're down here, let's go ahead and look at the tires. These tires look okay. We're gonna crawl under here. We'll look at the date code on the tires, which is right there. It says 2719, so it's the 27th week of 2019. So these are the original tires probably. Treads look good. I don't see any belt issues. The equalizer looks okay there. Hanger looks fine. Axles. We'll go look at the other side. Now these tires are Westlake. The size is 215, 75R, 17. Let's say 0.5. This living room slide is a rack and pinion slide. It all looks in good shape. This is some scuff, so I don't think that's too bad. Again, I put a little line of appropriate sealant there. This all looks fine. Small storage door here on the inside. Looks like where they keep all their sewer supplies. Got a sewer hose in here. They added a little shelf, little slinkies for your sewer if you wish to leave it out, and a wand to flush your toilet out with. This molding all looks like it's sealed up well. Back here in the back, it looks fine. Another storage door back here. Let's see what's behind it. So just some empty storage area. Not sure what that is. It's part of the water line, but I'm not sure where it's going to. Probably, if I had to guess, I would say it's the water line for the ice maker in the fridge. The remnants of an old decal they took off. Tail lights appear to be sealed well. Corner molding looks fine. Around this side, yeah, I think all that looks fine. This is the slide that the desk and the kitchen table's in. Again, another rack and pinion, which are going to be the beefiest type of slides. Those are good. I'm not sure what kind of slide that bedroom was. I didn't see any cables, but there's also not any rack and pinion under it, and there's not any Swintech gears. All right, so we do have a backup camera. Right above that backup camera, you can see we're missing the lens for the light there, which we'll take a closer look at. But we got to get up on that roof because that's the biggest part of looking at a camper you're going to buy, seeing what condition that roof's in. Overall, roof's a little bit dirty. Biggest damage that stands out is this black duct tape or Gorilla tape over the air conditioner, which is just the cover. Sure looks nasty though. Now with this roof, you can see this Dicor here. Then there's membrane here, and there's a little bitty crack. I think there's some sealant in there. All this should be covered with Dicor though. So the roof definitely needs to be resealed, but I don't see any evidence of any soft spots yet. This around the vent, This is old Dicor, has new Dicor on top of it. Not necessarily an issue. Could be a weak spot under here, and you shouldn't have cracks like this on there. Truthfully, that just all needs to be cleaned off and resealed appropriately. There's a mount for some solar panels. Again, needs to be resealed. All this needs to be resealed, but I don't see any issues. It does have a front air conditioner. All right. This front cap appears to be fine. Tiny ridge in the center of the screen right there. Everything's fine, it's just a little bit loose there for like an inch. It's not soft or anything. But again, we need to seal all around the skylight here. So this is the top of the slide. You know, this material is a little bit loose. It does have some dirt, this has some tape there, which is fine. I would seal that up really well. But I don't feel any soft spots in the wood or anything. I think the fabric was just a little bit loose there. And you do have the covers for extra protection now. This slides the same way. It's just the fabric's a little loose on the very corner. And I think everything's fine there. All right, guys, so all in all, I don't see any water damage on the unit. Had a little damage to one of the air conditioner covers. Most of the seals were fine. Did find a couple of spots that needed to be resealed. No evidence of like any soft floors or anything like that. And I have to say, as far as the cabinets and everything, it's holding up a lot better than my 2019 Cougar, which does have some peeling and stuff like that on the doors too. So, you know, I think that this is still a quality unit. Biggest things, I didn't find any water damage, and we'll pass this along to the friend that wanted me to look at it. I will say one of the best things you can do if you want to make sure that there's not any issue with the seals and stuff is a seal tech test. You know, I got a video down at my friend Steve's Shelburne RV of what a seal tech test is and how they use it. And it's the only way to know for sure that everything's good and sealed up. So I do recommend that. See you guys. All right, so let's talk problems with this camper. You know, structurally, I think everything's still good right now. Like I say, biggest things that I found were, number one, the batteries are dead. Likely no big deal. They may need to be replaced. Number two, the propane regulator, that might need to be replaced too. That's pretty cheap. It's not bad. But the biggest concern for me is this roof on the slides. You know, I did contact my buddy over at Shelburne RV. Check out their YouTube channel. My buddy Steve, he said that he is pretty concerned about that. So, you know, I can't guarantee that there's no damage under there, but I don't feel anything that's obvious. I don't see any signs of water damage inside the slide. You know, the walls, you don't see any like mold or anything like that on them. And there's no stains or soft spots anywhere. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. It is a little bit of a gamble whenever you find something like that. The one issue, the roof needs to be resealed. You know, I don't think that there's anywhere that's leaking up there, but there's a lot of areas where the Dicor lacks good cohesion, like as a unified coat. And there's the air conditioner cover that is taped together up there, which was likely like a tree limb or something like that. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But, you know, all in all, is it a good deal? Well, like I said, I don't know what the value of the camper is or what the price is. The one thing that I would think about before buying it would be those slide, the roofs on the slides. Now that being said, like I said, I didn't see any obvious water damage there. All the corners of all the slides are the same. So I think it's more of an installation thing, because they're just all kind of loose right where they just wrap around the edge there. And they have the turn them on tape on there that's right at the camper. I'm not sure if that's an issue or not. Like I say, it's something to be aware of and kind of judge your feelings and what you think about it. I think that my friend Steve he's kind of more on the, I'd probably stay away from that. So that's just something that you need to keep in mind. Now, like I say, the biggest thing that we're looking for through the whole RV is just water damage in general. And I don't see any evidence of that. But, there's these little things that kind of point to where you could have some problems in the future. So you got to take all that in mind in your overall buying process. So guys, if you learned anything from this, I'm glad you stuck around. I'm not an RV inspector. I know quite a bit about RVs, and I have resources like Steve where I can ask questions if I have any issues. But, this is more of it's a personal decision, and I do recommend that you always get like an RV inspected. And I also recommend that you get your RV, even if you've had it for years, do that seal tech test on it that we talked about earlier. But we'll see you around next time, guys. Thanks for being part of the family. Thanks for staying this long. And thanks for listening to me babble about this camper.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.